Hello friends and welcome to my YouTube channel Simply Stocks, and today I'm going to give you an example of a stock which you do not have to follow and why this stock has fallen and what you need to avoid while buying any company. So let's get started. First of all, a disclaimer that this is not a stock recommendation. People taking any position into any share that I talk about should do that with their own due diligence and research, and I'm not in favor or against any company that I talk about. So today I'm going to talk about Adlabs Entertainment, which was a marquee stock, say a decade ago, 10, 12 years ago, and they had many multiplexes, etc. going on. Imagica was their leading theme park, etc. But today it is in doldrums. The stock itself is in doldrums. So let's understand why. The company was established in 2010 and had a very good IPO. They have theme parks, hotels, and entertainment hubs. As I said, Imagica is their one of their biggest brands, and it was a one-stop shop for all entertainment, like kids going to places where they could play, as well as you could watch movies, 5D entertainments, etc., and so on and so forth. Magica is spread over 135 acres near Pune, so it is a theme park that is about 135 acres big in Pune, and people do visit it time and again. But earlier, it was one of the best places to visit for people when there was no entertainment on internet, and internet facility was not that great. There are the other modes of entertainment that have come up, and other theme parks that have come up apart from Magica. If you look at the financials, then you will understand that we had a huge fall. I mean, the sales are now down to 28 crores mainly in the second quarter of FY20 from 35.5 crores, a drop of nearly 20%. The profit, it is just continuously going into losses. The loss is around 70 crores from 55 crores last year, so the losses has expanded this year. Very high debt of around 1000 crores at the moment, and 61% of the promoter holding is pledged. Yes, I understand that 1 year back the promoter holding pledge was 70%, but even 60% is 61% is very high, especially for a consumer company, because normally consumption company or such companies like theme parks, etc., do not take in so much of debt on their books. There's no way to write about the return ratios or anything of that sort. So the company is completely gone into shambles at the moment, and the stock price shows that with the low made of 2 rupees 80 paise, currently the stock trading at around 4 rupees. So if you look at the stock performance, this month's stock performance from the IPO, company remains in loss for years. For the last 8 9 years, it has been in loss. Over 60% of promoter holding has been pledged. The stock has fallen from 200 odd rupees to all the way to 4 rupees. So you can understand nearly 98% of the wealth has been destroyed in the company, and there have been no expansion and nothing being done after Imagica. So they just sat on their laurels for about 10 years, and that's why the condition at the moment. So why an avoid? Why is this stock an avoid? There has been no quarter of profit in the last 9 years. So if we look at the balance sheet, if we look at the profit and loss account, the company kept on producing losses, and people kept on buying the stock on hopes of a turnaround, on hopes of it being a concept stock, and over the next decade, 15 20 years, there will be a lot of expansion of Imagica and people will visit theme parks, etc. But this business is completely economy driven, so you need to understand that if the economy doesn't do well, and over the last 4 5 years it has not been doing so well, that people can visit the different places or go abroad and so on and so forth, and spend so much on entertainment, and hence because the ticket prices, etc., are not that you can say reasonable for everyone to go, or for the lower class, or in terms of economy, to go there. So it is the high income group or the larger mid income group people who visit such parks, and they are not getting anything in return. The taxes have risen, the inflation have gone up. We have seen what has happened over the last 2 to 3 years, and that has hurt such companies like hotels, airlines, as well as theme parks. And similar thing has happened with Imagica and with Adlabs Entertainment. So the business is completely economy driven, and if there is a little bit of hit on the economy, the business will suffer. And this is the most important point, that the choices of children and people have changed. No longer on a weekend they would like to go to a theme park and spend say 4 or 5 hours there and also spend so much of money. Probably they'll go for a movie, even not that, because now even the large multiplexes are facing problems, because many of the movies are available with direct to home entertainment, with Geo TV, with the Netflix, etc. at home. People like to just stay at home, more safer, better, and enjoy with the family rather than go out. And that's why the QSR companies are doing better than, you could say, such companies like theme parks or multiplexes, because they order, means you can order food to home rather than cook anything and just enjoy the day out. Uh, the pledge shares are extremely high. 60% pledging is extremely high for Adlabs Entertainment. Probably between 10 to 15% you can manage, and there are many very good large cap companies in consumption and in other sectors which have pledge shares, but they are doing well on the profit front as well. So unless the company shows profit and sales growth, nobody is going to touch such a company. And we have seen what has happened. 207 was the high about 9 10 years back, and now the stock has fallen all the way to 3 rupees. Last year the stock has fallen to 11 12 rupees. It's gone down by another 75% from there. So the low it made was 3 rupees. And still I see that people come in with queries for such a stock, and that's why I made this video, that you need to avoid, even if it goes from 3 to 4.5 5 rupees, you need to avoid, never buy a sinking ship. So what we have learned from such a stock, and this is extremely important, because we learn a lot from stocks that have gone bust rather than from stocks that have really performed better. So what we learn here is you need to avoid concept stocks. There are the concept stocks in the market that people bought earlier during the IPO and in the initial phase of its listing, but now they are in deep trouble and they are not producing profitability. So you need to avoid such thing. Just have a simple way of investing. Buy companies which have solid growth potential and they are showing 20% 25% at least profit growth, and around 15% 20%, if it is a large cap, 10 to 15% sales growth continuously over the last 4 5 years, and would show similar trend over the next few years. That is extremely important. Avoid companies with very high debt or pledge, any pledge. I avoid companies with any pledge, with what has happened over the last 2 to 3 years. uh, don't look for cheap prices, always look for valuations that are reasonable, that are attractive. So prices are different than valuations. Ad labs at 4 rupees is expensive compared to say you would say an Eicher Motors at around 17,000 rupees, if it comes down to that level. So that is how you need to look at, and I have made multiple videos on valuations. Look for increasing trends in profitability and say promoter holding rather than decreasing trends. So the promoter holding has gone down from around 42% 44% 1.5 years back to around 30% right now. It is going down, I think 25 24% at the moment. And first criteria should be about business. The business has to be robust before you invest into any company. So this was my video on Adlabs Entertainment. Please like and subscribe my channel, hit the bell icon so that you can get my videos straight away when I post it. Thanks a lot for watching.